Yeah, it's still early yet. He's doing some.
Okay, I guess we're all set. It's 7 o'clock. Welcome you to the planning board meeting. We've got like 1, 2, 3, 4 items on the agenda this evening. So would you start, would you join our pledge of allegiance? Pledge of allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. Mark is our stand-in here this evening. Mark, you want to call the roll, please?
Mr. Kashani.
Here.
Mr. Malta.
Here.
Mr. Anderson.
Here.
Mr. Kozel.
Here.
Mr. Ciardi.
Here.
Mr. Gassick.
Here.
Absent tonight is Mrs. Maltman.
Okay, we're good. All right, let's see, what do we got, Mark? First one on the pole barn, this was in before you.
Sure.
This was a tabled matter, and it is a preliminary final search and approval. Go ahead.
First tabled matter, the only tabled matter on tonight's agenda is the pole barn located at 895 County Line Road. The applicant, Joseph Giorgione, I wrote over it, I'm sorry, is requesting preliminary final site plan approval and a public hearing associated with the construction of a 1,536 square foot metal pole barn on a 2.7 acre lot located in a large lot district under sections 269-10, 350-13, and 350-36 of the Code of the Town of Webster.
Gentlemen,
Mr. Chairman, Damian Costanza, appearing for Mr. Giorgione. I was here last time. Based upon our discussion last time, Mr. Giorgione reached out to Land Tech. They have completed a survey map, which I believe the board has, and that was done in an attempt to address some of the questions that the board had last time. I would remind the board, and this is something that is probably clear from the survey map, that one of the concerns last time was the height of the pole barn. The pole barn is at a location where there is at least a 5-foot differential from the height that the house is at to the height where the pole barn is going to be at. So when assessing the height that the pole barn will be in comparison to the house, I would only ask that the board remember that. The only other thing that I would add, and just in a brief attempt to refresh the board's memory with regard to the rationale for why Mr. Giorgione wants to do this. Mr. Giorgione was a victim of the COVID-19 situation. Mr. Giorgione was in a coma for 2 months and has sustained permanent damage to his lungs as a result of that. As a result of that injury, Mr. Giorgione's business, which is in Ontario, New York, he was really forced to completely cut back on the work that he used to do there and had done there for more than 20 years. As a result of that, he now has to rent out most of that property to other businesses that are now in that location. Because of the damage done to his lungs, he is now looking at the very real likelihood of an early semi-retirement. Beyond that, Mr. Giorgione's father died last year. Mr. Giorgione's father was a mason throughout his whole life and lived out in the country. He had several relatively large pieces of equipment, as well as some materials related to his lifetime as a mason. Some of those items that he had for his whole life. They have certainly a significant amount of sentimental value for Mr. Giorgione, in that they are the last things that his father left behind. So rather than sell them for whatever worth they may have, including a tractor, Mr. Giorgione has elected that he wanted to build a small barn on his property to keep some of these things from his father's life, as well as prepare for the increased amount of time he's probably going to be home within the next year or two because of the injuries that he sustained as a result of the COVID-19 infection. I believe now that we have submitted the survey map that the board has requested, and I would only add that at each step of this matter, Mr. Giorgione in the position that he is in as a resident of Webster, has reached out to the staff of the planning board, and they have assisted him at every step. And if there is any question as to whether or not Mr. Giorgione has made every effort to comply with everything that has been asked of him in order to get this job done, I would ask that the staff certainly be called upon as necessary to talk about the fact that Mr. Giorgione has been here and has at all times been open to every suggestion that has been given to him. And I can state, although I am not any seer or predictor of the future, that should this board or should the town have any requests with regard to making this structure something that would be in compliance and approved by the board so that he can do what he is now required to do because of his health and because of the death of his father, simply ask it, and Mr. Giorgione will deliver it. That's all I have. Thank you. And the only other thing, Chairman, is if there are any negative comments, I would simply ask for a short period of time to respond to them. Thank you.
If I recall, I think the biggest issue we had back when you were in was the location on the site. And how big is the site? When we do have the map, you do have, this is quite nice, actually. You've got it engineered right out.
John Sharaba.
Did a nice job with this. The size of the building, and it's in conformance. Anybody, anybody see anything that, question? Derek?
The map definitely clarifies
Yeah, that
the
was our big
location, and
hang-up,
that's what we
right?
really needed to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, it identifies location, just, I think one thing missing is the access to it, because I think in the aerial, we saw that it was already under construction. So, how access is coming to the back pole barn, is it off of the existing driveway, or how is it being connected?
You putting a driveway back to it from the house, or?
He did. And that was upon instruction when he arrived here in November. He was told that was something that he needed to do. We
Yeah, okay,
needed to put in access.
okay. Okay.
That lot, as I remember, is pretty heavily wooded around the perimeter of the lot.
Is that heavily wooded around the,
It depends on the season, Mr. Chairman, of course.
is it heavily wooded around the area?
It would depend upon the season, obviously.
Well, I mean,
during
the
the
trees
winter.
are there,
It
right?
is, yes, it is.
Okay,
It's my understanding that it's on both sides of the creek or the stream,
okay.
that there is a wooded area.
Okay, we did receive a letter from Deborah Speck's-Gould. We just got this tonight, so I'm, God, excuse me. I was just glancing through it a little bit. Some of your concerns, your conclusion I read, reducing the height and excessive footprint. Well, he's in conformance with the size of the building, the height of it. You're wanting to reduce the two overhead doors. I don't know what that would be for, they're 10 by 10. It's a building, why you need to have smaller doors, I don't understand that. Upgrade the look of the
Mr. Chair,
building.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman, additionally, because there's no electric in the structure, the doors are large so there can be some light.
Okay, and this is, okay, I'm just looking at what we.
I
got,
understand, sir.
Just reading it here now. Drainage, your drainage should be okay, it's on your own property, you're right in the middle of a large parcel. All right, and again, this is a public hearing, I don't know if there's anybody here wishing to get up and speak, either for or against. Not seeing anybody, will you have your letter? I'll put the letter into the record, so we'll keep that copy of that, okay? Anybody, any concerns or issues with it? I think they've accomplished what we asked for in the site drawing here.
Is that gonna, the siding gonna match the house, or,
It's, my understanding is it's black metal.
Okay.
He has a brick house,
Yeah, and this is quite a ways in the back there too, so.
as is represented on the map, Mr.
Yes,
Chairman.
right. All right, move on with it. Nobody wishing to speak with them, we'll close the public hearing, bring it back up to the board. Anybody, any questions or?
No, I think what we asked for, we got.
Everybody's good with it, right? All right.
Did we get a cross-section view of the pole barn, just with the heights, how we typically do to the rooftop and the bottom?
I think when they first came in, he had
Okay,
all that stuff, you know, he had the drawings, but
Yep.
we said just, this is what we needed to complete it, so, you know? All right, Derek, you wanna do a
Yep.
seeker on this?
Town of Webster Planning Board considered a request by Joseph,
Giorgione.
Giorgiani to construct a 1,536 square foot pole barn on a 2.7 acre lot located at 895 County Line Road, having SBL number 081.01-1-46. The planning board classifies the proposed action as a type 2 action under section 617.5C 12 of the State Environmental Quality Review Regulations, and therefore is not subject to further review.
Okay, we have a motion, need a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay, we're good with that. Dave, you wanna make a motion for preliminary approval? on
Yeah, I'll
this?
make a motion for preliminary approval for the pole barn located at 895 County Line Road.
Get a little closer to that mic, cause it's not really picking up. out there.
Okay. Subject to PRC comments. Subject to determination of ZBA for any variances if applicable. All improvements shall be constructed according to the specific specification of the town of Webster. All site work is to be in compliance with the standards of the town of Webster. Preserve all mature trees on the site where possible. Comply with all requirements of any state, county, or town agency. Address landscaping and drainage.
Dave, I prefer you just, I highlighted some stuff that's in the resolution, in the code.
Yeah,
Use those,
and
those are the key
code
things
in
for
it for
this.
accessory buildings.
Yes.
States that in no case shall the accessory building exceed 2,500 square feet in size. So it's definitely
Meets
under that.
yep.
And no accessory building shall be higher than the main structure. In no circumstances shall the zoning district maximum height be exceeded. And in no circumstance shall such building exceed 20 feet in height, which it doesn't. And actually, because it's lower
Yeah,
than the house, it's, you know, it well goes with that. All right, the approvals are subject to drawing is submitted, and we'll proceed to final approval. That's a motion.
that's your motion, okay, need a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Final approval, you wanna, I'll make a final approval.
Go ahead.
Make a final approval subject to chapter 350 of the zoning code of the town of Webster, 350-36, regarding accessory buildings. And the applicant is in conformance with that part of the code, so therefore I make a motion for final approval.
Seconded.
Have a second, Dave?
Do we have to say it's for personal use only, not for business use, or?
Yeah, that's good, John, you can add that in there too.
Yeah.
This is for personal use only. I can't see where he is.
You said no.
All right, put it in there. It's for personal use only. He's not putting electric in there. Okay, that's all, I guess then, right? Okay, that's motion then. Need a second?
Second.
John seconds, all in favor, signify by aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nobody good. All right, he's all set then, wherever he is. You up there, Ray?
Honestly,
Oh, you're back there, I didn't see where you were.
I would like to speak for all of us.
I'm sorry?
We can only hear like half of it.
I can't hear you, ma'am.
They can't hear you.
Yeah, okay. You can't? I'm sorry.
Can't hear anything.
Really? Okay, jeez. Is that it? How about that? Is that any better if I'm,
Yeah, so
my
you
God.
guys need to speak in the microphone.
can these things be turned up at all or what? I mean, you almost have to have your face right on it. I'm sorry that, we'll just have to try and talk louder and get closer to the microphone, I guess. All right, well, that application was done. We've gotten final approval on that. Mark, we'll move on to the next one.
The scheduled matter in tonight's agenda, the first one is dock and boat cover located at 237 Inspiration Point Road. The applicant, Bradley Roig, is requesting preliminary final site plan approval and a public hearing and an LWRP consistency determination associated with the construction of a 200-square-foot steel dock and a 384-square-foot covered boat lift on a 2.03-acre lot located in a single-family R3 residential district under sections 350-12, 350-27, 33-1-4 of the Code of the Town of Webster.
Yes, sir.
Hi, my name is Brad Rohrig. I'm looking to, as stated, build a steel dock and also a boat lift attached to it. The plans are as shown in the documents that were submitted. The images that were shown and can be shown again are of the exact same structure built by the exact same company at 211 Inspiration Point, so just a couple doors down. So that's a real-world picture of exactly what I am proposing to be built.
Okay. In your paperwork, I see you already gotten your permit from DEC, Army Corps of Engineers, so you've got
Correct.
everything. So all you're needing now is approval from this board.
Correct.
Okay. That dock, that's driven down, not a floating.
No, it's
Yes,
permanent, yes,
stationary,
driven
yeah.
piles, correct.
Okay. And you got the covered boathouse? All right, it's not excessively long, you're only, what, 50 feet, I think it read?
Correct.
50 foot, which is an excessive lot. What's the depth of the water there underneath you?
It varies. It starts off, I mean, during the deepest water, I had some measurements. At the shore, it's maybe a foot. At the end of a proposed 50-foot dock, you're at, I think, 54 inches, I think it was, at high water. Right now, it's much shallower.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, it's down, I know. Oh, there it is, you got it right there, so. Yeah, you don't even have a whole lot of depth at the end, do you?
No. As much as I'd like it longer to be within the regulations, it needs to be no more than 200 square feet. So we're at 50 foot long by 4 foot wide.
Yes, okay. All right, anybody, any questions or anything on this?
Not me.
I just had one question on the site plan that showed. For setback, just want to verify that the setback requirements for the lot are satisfied. Because the boat dock itself is right up next to the property line, it looks like, the extension of the property line. Guess I'm looking for a clarification.
I
if
think,
that applies
if
to
I'm
it
not
or
mistaken, it just can't cross the littoral line from the shore, you know, the lot line going. It has to be inside that line. Am I right, Josh? I think that's the way it is.
It also has to be minimum of 10 feet from the property line. It looks as though the dock is 15 feet, so that to allow for the dockage envelope to not cross over the property line. So we believe it's consistent with the code setbacks.
Okay.
So
Alright.
the 15 feet applies to the dock. The covering for the boat lift is allowed to be within that 15 feet.
Correct, yes.
All right, I don't have any issues with that.
This is a public hearing.
Yeah. Okay, I just recall it, any docks had to come in, had to be within the straight line of a lot line going out into the water. It had to be within that range. I don't recall any setbacks on them at the time. Anyways, okay. Anyways, public hearing, so if anyone is here wishing to speak either for or against, not seeing any, we'll close the public hearing. Back to the board. Anybody? We've had other ones similar to this come in, and we've had a lot of them that would do it and never even come in, so for what that's worth, I'm sure you know.
And that's a first-class dock.
It is, absolutely.
about it.
Yeah. All right. We're all okay with that then? Then we're gonna do a seeker on it. Might as well keep moving.
The Town of Webster Planning Board consider a request by applicant Bradley Rearing to construct a 200-square-foot dock and 384-square-foot covered boat lift located at 237 Inspiration Point Road on a 2.03 acre lot having SPL number 078.13-1-9. The planning board classifies the proposed action as a type 2 action under section 617.5C9 of the state environmental quality review regulations and therefore is not subject to further review.
Okay, that's your motion. Need a second?
Second.
You have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. All right, this has been in, we've looked at it, and again, the gentleman has received all his permits from New York State DEC, Army Corps of Engineers, so I'll make a motion to approve the requested 4-foot by 50-foot dock and the covered boat hoist as presented. And the applicant has received all his permits, as I said, from DEC, Army Corps. This project is consistent with Webster Town Code and is also subject to any PRC comments which may arrive with this and comply with all the requirements of any state, county, or town agency. That would be preliminary approval. Need a second?
Second.
Have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, okay. Also for this project, this falls because of its proximity to the water, in the water, on the shore of it, it's required to have an approval for the LWRP, the Local Waterfront Revitalization Plan. So I'll make a motion for the conformance to the LWRP. The project will not detrimentally impact groundwater, streams, wetlands, flood zones, or water table. And the project will not affect any threatened or endangered species, plants, or wildlife. Therefore, this project at 237 Inspiration Point is consistent with the Webster LWRP. And that being a motion for that.
Second.
Do we need
Second.
Do we need significant construction?
No, this
Th-
is
I
a
haven't got
different
to that.
motion.
Oh, sorry. Oh,
This is just for the LWRP.
okay.
And motion, I'm sorry.
I second
You
it.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, and then for final approval, is subject to all preliminary approval conditions, subject to the Department of Public Works approvals. Significant construction shall occur within 1 year as determined by the planning board to expire on, what's the date today, the 7th?
Seven.
Yep.
7th of 2026. That'd be the motion for final approval.
Second.
You have a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye, we're good. Good luck with your project.
Thank you for your time.
Yep.
Next item on tonight's agenda, Piranha Rents, located at 5 Mile Line Road in Lowe's Plaza. The applicant is Patrick Young, who's requesting sketch plan review associated with the construction of a 4,600 square foot equipment rental store featuring a 41,700 square foot gavel storage yard enclosed by a chain link security fence on a 7.94 acre lot located in a high-intensity commercial district under section 269.5 and 350-19 of the Code of the Town of Webster.
Gentlemen,
All right, my name is Rafael Barreto, with Marathon Engineering. I'm here with Patrick Young, the owner of Piranha Rents. So we're here for sketch plan approval for a equipment rental store located on 5 Mile Line Road. It currently does not have an address today. It's been a vacant lot. I guess just to give you a little bit of a background about this property, you'll see the Lowe's that is currently on that road. This was constructed as a larger project with several out parcels. The ponds that you see on the project have been sized initially with the intent of handling any additional stormwater runoff for future projects such as this. We have a couple of design constraints on this project, and I'm just gonna kind of go down the list of them in terms of severity. So, because of there is a lengthy easement agreement that exists between our parcel and the Lowe's parcel and the other surrounding parcels, and that easement agreement has a lot of dictation on what kind of businesses can be present, and most notably where we're allowed to make curb cuts into the existing private drive that runs through the Lowe's parcel.
I can't hear you well.
I'm gonna have to lean really close to this.
That's better.
All right, hold on. So we're restricted in where we can make driveway cuts to access the site due to that easement agreement. So that's been one of the key factors in where we've decided to put this building and yard, and where we've decided to make our entrances and driveway cuts. The second factor that's gone into this has been just conforming with all the zoning regulations. We are at a corner lot. We are fronting two roads. We are fronted by 5 Mile Line Road and New York 104. And I think that's something worth noting, because while we are technically making a driveway cut onto the private drive that services the Lowe's parcel, our main entrance is going to be considered the shared access drive that connects onto 5 Mile Line Road. And because we are fronting those two roads, we have set back our building so that we don't need any zoning variances. We are conforming with all setbacks. Another key point that came up, and this was a point of note that was very important as we were looking into this project. There is a FEMA floodplain that is running through this site. There is a Class C creek that runs through that wooded area in the center and crosses at the culvert. There's a culvert that crosses 5 Mile Line Road. So because there is a floodplain, if I can just expand on what that means, FEMA, as a government body, essentially performed an extensive study of this area of the creek. I believe the date was around 2008, and determined that in a 100-year storm, an extreme storm event, they can expect water levels along the limits of that creek to reach as high as 400 feet in elevation. Now, if you were to read the FEMA flood maps, which are provided at no cost, our project, nothing in our project actually touches the visual limits that were found in that study. However, when we went and did a proper survey of the land, we found that there was a small portion of the site which was above that 400-foot limit. And I want to show that, if I can. Let's see if I can't see that. Nope. Yeah. Yeah, that little loop there is our 400-foot elevation. And while I think that visually that looks like a large area, that's only a couple of inches below that 400-foot elevation. So because we are filling in the floodplain, we want to perform some compensatory storage in order to, if we're filling in the floodplain, we want to give back an equivalent volume of storage so that in the event of a large storm event, that entire floodplain, that storage area is going to contain the same amount of water in it, and we're not going to have anything overtopping in an unexpected fashion. And that is what that's what we're proposing there. You can see on the northeast existing retention pond where we're proposing to widen, the northwest, that little blue spot. Yep, that's where we're going to be widening the existing detention pond, basically just enough just to get that compensatory storage. And the last large thing of note, before I'll rattle off a couple of the smaller things, is wetlands. So there was a wetland delineation that was performed a few years ago. There was a wetland delineation performed a few years ago by Dialux. There are informational wetlands on the site. What that means is that the DEC believes that there is a likelihood of wetlands present that they may take jurisdiction over. We've been in touch with the DEC through a wetland consultant. They're going to be on site doing their evaluation within the next week or so, and I think we should have a result, or at least a proper determination from them. There are no exceptions inherent. There are no inherent exceptions for man-made ponds for this jurisdictional process. So we have to go through the whole process with the DEC in order for them to decide to take jurisdiction of these ponds or not. These are man-made ponds. It is required of the owner that they take care of these ponds so that they continue to function for the benefit of the Lowe's site and all of the out parcels. And then lastly, just to kind of go through my, my list. So all of the ponds that are on the site that we are draining runoff to have already been sized with the intent of a comparable project of this size. So we don't need to provide any extra storage. However, we are choosing to provide some green infrastructure to provide some water quality. That would be the bioretention area that you see there, as well as the street trees, which are matching existing trees within the Lowe's parcel. And then, let's see here, just to rattle off some last few things. There's going to be building mounted lighting. Store hours are, Patrick, if you can correct me, I believe it's from 8 to 5. That was, and there's going to be just a trash bin located behind the building. You're not going to see that from the private drive. The 6-foot security fence is going to be screening everything from the other areas. And we have enough parking for what is required for the function of the store. There's about 4 employees, and we get maybe, what, 3 or 4 at a time, maybe? Yeah. So I think that was everything I had on my immediate list. If there are any other questions or concerns that I can respond to, I'd be happy to hear them.
What, yeah, a couple questions, actually. You're saying a 6-foot security fence. What is the fence? What's the making of the fence?
It's going to be a chain link fence with vinyl. So it's going to be opaque.
A regular chain link, not a solid?
That's correct.
Okay. This area, you know, if you were in the industrial zone, I'd say it probably wouldn't be so bad to have something like that. But here you've got, you know, Lowe's and so on, so a little bit different approach. Yeah, there's the fencing there. I wouldn't, personally, I don't know the board, I'm just thinking here out loud, no. If it was some sort of a chain link the rest of the way around, but the front, go back, Jack, can you go back to that site? Yeah, there you go. The east side and the part to the south, that little piece there, where people drive in, that should be a solid fence, you know, neat, something to make it look a whole lot better, I think. The back, or the west side, or the north side?
The part that presents to the private drive.
I'm sorry?
The section of the fence that would present to the private drive when you're entering?
Yes, all that front there, you know, running along the road, and then the south section, east-west piece, that little, all the way to the south over here. Yeah, now, that fencing right in there, on the side, that area right there, that's what you'd see when you'd come in, and that, in my opinion, should be more of a decorative fence of some sort, something more attractive than a chain link. The back and the other side, that's pretty much hidden, I don't think that matters so much.
Okay.
Just my opinion. What are you using for the parking lot, is that?
I don't know if it's gonna, I would decide if I'm gonna use asphalt or concrete. I was thinking about doing concrete because of the high volume traffic. with trailers, taking equipment out of the house, potentially wasting your money on asphalt.
That's that whole area there, the whole white area.
I was thinking, no, the white area is gonna be stone.
That's the gravel storage yard.
What type of equipment are you gonna be renting?
The type of equipment that Brown Rents does is we rent compact equipment, nothing large, nothing huge.
Should it be
It's
talking
compact
into the
equipment, so it's
microphone?
small track loaders.
Can you
Yeah,
talk into
use-
the
use the
microphone?
microphone.
Thank you.
Actually, I can hear you better than what we were here.
Oh, sorry. It's, so Piranha rents skid steers, track loaders, and excavators and attachments to homeowners, contractors. Some of our equipment, talking about the fence, some of our equipment is actually some of our, I guess, representation too. When somebody sees it, they're like, oh, I could use that. I saw that on TV. I want to use that. So our equipment is part of our advertisement with our company. But nothing, when you think of a rental place, it's not huge lifts and obnoxious, massive pieces of equipment. We are in the compact world. That's where we want to stay in the compact world. We're looking to provide to homeowners and, like I said, contractors.
With equipment back there and vehicles going in and out of there and it's wet, invariably, you're gonna have stones and gray matter from the lime, out onto the runway, onto the roadway. I, quite honestly, personally would prefer to see that thing asphalted in there.
The whole yard.
Yes, as opposed to the gravel.
Okay.
Absolutely. Other than that, I think what you've got is a good thing, but I think there's some things needs to conform more to the commercial area, not
That's fine.
industrial, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and the big thing is, I'm willing to work with the town. You know, whatever's works for both of us, obviously, you know, financially for me, but I want to work with the town. The big thing that we did do in this situation with Marathon is by making the drive-through, it's kind of a new experience where people load and unload on my own driveway. So I'm not disrupting anybody else in
Yeah.
that manner. So the minimal, so any of the matter, like if it was stone in the area, and you did drive a piece of equipment out onto my drive-through, and they loaded, like we have equipment that sweeps the roads, just like a street sweeper. But if the town wants me to do something different, I'm more than willing to work with anybody.
I don't know, maybe Dale, I don't know if you know, I don't recall, when this was approved originally, that excess road around, that's part of Lowe's property, I believe, isn't it, Josh? Is that the way that was? The parking lot and all?
Yes,
It is
technically.
Lowe's private drive.
It is Lowe's?
There is an access easement agreement allowing
Okay, that's,
use of that.
okay, that's good, okay, that's what I was wondering, how.
Yeah,
what you have
that
to do
is,
to
that is baked into the entire,
Okay.
all the out parcels.
Good, okay. All right, anybody, any questions? Just a couple issues that I had there.
Well, just following up with that, if you were to pave that whole thing, it changes the impervious area.
No, we count the gravel yard as impervious.
Do you? Okay. And the only other just kind of observation is on the north side where the one car is parked right up against the gate, you'd probably want to have some area for the car to turn around and back out.
Yeah, I think we have one over the required minimum, so we could always just stripe that last spot out.
Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, I just have a couple questions here real quick. I know it's only a sketch plan, so maybe some of these can be incorporated. There was a set of drawings that indicated the building footprint, ingress, egress doors, wall packs, lighting, that don't match up with the sketch plan. If you wouldn't mind just making sure that the building footprint that's being used is reflective in the site plan drawings, including the lighting plan, where the actual wall packs are going to be. The actual roof structure of the facility, is that being surface discharged, sheet flowed to the bioretention areas, or is it piped?
I am planning on it being piped. I believe that's correct. Yeah. It'll be tied into the storm sewer and go to the bioretention.
Okay. The gates that you're showing, are they manual, automatic?
I personally would like to do them automatic, and
you talk into the mic, please?
Into the mic, just so that people at home can also hear. Sorry.
I would choose to do automatic for my gates, absolutely.
Okay. Just because of electrical drawings, just to indicate the route where you're looking to do it and which way they're gonna open and close for fire access as well. Primarily vehicles coming into your yard, is it gonna be trailers, tractor trailers to unload? Are you unloading in the yard or in the front and then taking the equipment in, or?
The only equipment that will be loaded and unloaded in the yard is my personal drivers with their trucks and trailers. Other than that, customers will not be in the yard. Customers will be on the access, I call it the drive-through.
Okay, so that's
You know?
what, the intention is really for the patrons to kind of load the equipment on at that point.
Yeah, the typical, I guess if it was to try to infuse what's going on, is you would pull up with your truck and trailer, someone would greet you, oh, you're here to get this. That's why there's two gates. There's one at the lower end, on the south side of the property, and one at the north side. So that one person pulls up, a person would greet them, yep, no problem, they'd get their piece of equipment out, and then they could load it onto their trailer. And in the meantime, if there was another person that pulled up, he could be loaded also at the same time, so it didn't cause any confusion on the drive-through there.
Okay. Just because you have a single form of access there, just consider some signage, one way or something in the wintertime, so people know which way they're supposed to be going.
Absolutely.
Visually, would be helpful. Again, you're in a 100-year flood zone. I understand that you're kind of regrading it to get yourself a little bit out of it, but the bioretention component is still indicated in that flood zone. Have you done geotech with water levels? Are you keeping the clearance for the bioretention off of the water table?
Yes, we are up above the water table.
Okay. And then I think the last comment that I just said was I saw the yard, it's a large area of yard, and you're gonna sheet flow towards that 100-year flood zone in the back. You only, it's an 8-inch pipe, but it's a big yard too. I was wondering if the 8-inch pipe, has been sized for that volume of water, especially in a flood zone area, in case that does get flooded, to make sure that you're not really sheet flowing anything coming off of the equipment into now this flood zone area, environmental area.
I don't have the sizing calcs on me at the moment, but I can certainly provide those to you.
Okay. Not me, engineering department,
Yeah.
probably, but yeah. That's all I had.
Okay, anybody else, anything? Again, this is just sketch plan right now, just
Yep.
basically a layout of what you're
Yep.
proposing. I'm sure your preliminary would have all your details and so on.
Oh, sorry, one last question. Just overall signage for the facility, are you gonna be adding to the signage that's out in 5 Mile Line saying where your business is?
I
or-
believe that is correct. We're going to be adding a plate to the existing signage. Are
Okay.
you?
Yeah, I would like to add to the sign out that Lowe's is already currently using, that
Mm-hmm.
one. And then I do have drawings for the building. I guess it's, the building that would be facing east. At that point, up in the peak, I would put a nice sign up there.
Yep.
And that's what, I think would be sufficient enough for it. Like I said, our equipment is kind of our advertising too.
Sounds good.
Okay, we're good. Yeah, right now is just looking what you're proposing to build here, and then we'll get into all the other details. Okay, I guess that's it. Jim, I know you're here. Is just a sketch plan, is there anything you wanted to say, or you just going to visit?
Are you gonna open it up to the public?
Well, it's not, because it's not, but if, I know you're there, you live right across the street, if you want it, we'll absolutely let you.
Yeah, I would like to just say.
Sure, go ahead.
My name is Jim Kunz. I live across the street from Lowe's on 5 Mile Line Road. I certainly would love to see this business come in. I think that it's a very desirable type of thing to have for Webster. I have absolutely no objections. As a matter of fact, I would love to see it happen. However, that being said, as I talked with you, Tony, some time ago, and hopefully with Josh, Lowe's has created, when it was built, a severe water problem for my property across the street. The other properties of Lowe's doesn't have to worry about more projects coming. I see I don't know whether it was Dinks and Links or whatever, and they had, I'm not sure of the acreage, whether it was 10 acres, and this is 9 acres. And when you say you'd like to see it in asphalt, well, right now, we have a situation where Lowe's has been closed over the last 20 years, 5 times, where the flood came across, connected both ponds, and 5 Mile Line Road was inaccessible. 6 inches of water came across the street and took out one of my sheds. So if Lowe's couldn't handle the situation that it has, it was closed and it came across the road in the year 2000. I have pictures of it. Again, I don't want to put it all on these gentlemen to have to do it, but there is a situation there that is, if any kind of development ever happened on my property, the flood doesn't go to Lowe's, it doesn't go east, it doesn't go to 104. It comes across the road and it comes to me. So something needs to be done in order to mitigate the water situation. If you're talking about, and again, I'm welcome to have Dinks and Links. I'm a golfer, I'd love to see it, okay? I have equipment and I could probably use one of their items. But something's got to be done to prevent what's been happening over the last 20 years to me. And I hope it can be done. I hope this board does it. Thanks, Tony.
Okay, thanks, Jim. Okay, I guess with that, we're set. Next step will be coming in with your paperwork for preliminary approvals. All right? Okay, thank you. We'll talk to you soon.
Last item on tonight's agenda, Carolot sign located at 369 Phillips Road. Excuse me, the applicant Connor Ewing of Elevated Sign Solutions is requesting sign approval associated with the replacement of existing double-panel vinyl graphic facade and monument signs, 30-square-foot facade sign and 21.5 SF monument sign, square-foot monument sign for the Carolot Child Care Facility on a 2.3-acre parcel located in an R3 single-family residential district under Section 265-7 of the Code of the Town of Webster.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, hello, I'm Connor. This proposal is for, it used to be Kitty Academy, but my customer Carolot took over that from the previous owners. So they wanted to put their new branding up. So that sign right there, it's the exact same type of sign that the previous customer had. It's just a aluminum panel with vinyl graphics on it. And the other sign is it's the same thing. It's an aluminum panel with vinyl graphics on it. The old sign used to be an illuminated sign box, so we're not quite doing as much as the previous tenant there was doing. So we removed that old sign box, and that's the idea there. Just flat panel.
So the new one, it's not backlit or anything?
Correct. It's non-illuminated. Both of those. I think the roadside sign is,
It looks like it had a light cast up on it.
yeah, I think it's a little solar light there that shines up from the bottom. But
Yep.
Yeah.
Again, according to code, it's not to have the white glaring, from interior, from inside
Yeah.
backlit.
Yep.
Okay, anybody any issues with this?
Just the numeric sign that you have, the number, the address. For example, if you see the Kitty Academy had 369 above, if you could put that up there as for your sign.
Good catch. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and in full transparency, these signs are actually already up. Carolot took over a couple weeks ago, but didn't have time to get the permit. I let them know that that's not really how it goes, but they told me to just put them up anyway. And I did get feedback on the address sign, which the address is up there in real life. It's right in the center, just like Kitty Academy was.
Okay. All right, anybody, any concerns? Want to do a seeker or anything?
Crash is trying to show us something. Yep, old sign. Okay. Town of Webster Planning Board consider request by applicant Connor Ewing of Elevated Sign Solutions to replace an existing 30 square foot facade and a 21.5 square foot monument sign for Care-a-Lot Child Care Facility located on a 2.3 acre parcel having SBL number 050.03-2-23.1. The planning board classifies the proposed action as a type 2 action under section 617.5C2 of the state environmental quality review regulations and therefore is not subject to further review.
Okay, motion need a second.
Second.
A second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, I was just looking at this, at the paperwork you gave us tonight here. Yeah, and it does show the address on this.
Yeah, I apologize. There was a lot of back and forth with my customer on these layouts, so I
So that-
apologize. I didn't get you the updated one there.
That can be put onto the existing sign then?
It is on the existing
Oh, it is,
sign.
oh, you already have it on, oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, oh, this is
Yeah.
it, all right, gotcha.
Sorry.
Okay, all right, somebody wanna make a motion for approval, the sign, Care-a-Lot?
I'll make a motion for applicant Connor Ewing of Elevated Signs for replace a 30 square foot facade sign and a 21.5 square foot monument sign. Both of them are non-lit for, at 369 Phillips Road as presented.
Okay, that's a motion, have a second?
Second.
Have a second, all in favor, signify by
Aye.
aye. Aye, okay, we're good, all right, you're all set, thank you.
Thank you. Also, someone left their phone there in the front seat just when they inevitably come
Oh,
back in.
okay, all right, we'll get it, I'm sure they'll be looking for it. You do too, thank you. All right, I guess that's it for this, correct?
Yep.
All right, with that, I guess, we're done for this evening, and so thank you for coming in.
Our next meeting is November 18th.
What's the next one?
Yeah, you got the election,
Yeah.
and you got the Veterans Day.
Got your phone?
Yeah, sorry.